I'm Don Vinh. I'm an infectious disease specialist and medical microbiologist at the McGill University Health Center and a clinician scientist at the Research Institute of the McGill University Health Center. All of science through research is changing the world, and I think that hasn't been any more apparent than obviously during the COVID pandemic. What we're trying to understand is this sort of obvious pattern that there are a large number of people who are infected, but a small number of people who actually get severely sick. And we're trying to understand not the epidemiological reason why that is, but more the biological or immunological reason for why that is. And what we found is that there are genetic reasons for this. There are also what we call rogue autoantibodies that are found in elderly people. And so we've contributed to the biological understanding of susceptibility to severe COVID. More at large, we were using the same themes of understanding, the severe aspects of an infectious disease to understand other microbes. Why do people get severe infections with tuberculosis or histoplasmosis, or even common bugs like strep throat? As a scientist, what you want to do is understand the world and how it functions. And we put on our scientist hats and we put on our scientist hands, and we do those thinking processes, the hypothesis generating exercises, the experiments, the data analysis, data interpretations. There's a fixed process for science. The issue, of course, is that we don't live purely in a scientific world. And we have to understand that we live together. Science doesn't exist outside of society, and society depends on science to be a society. And so how do we bring those two together? Well, we have to be able to communicate. So for that to happen, you necessarily have to take off your scientific hat and put on your layman's hat so that you can communicate with your peers, with your neighbors. But let me break it down to you in key points as to what's going on and why it's important to you. The beauty about MI4 is that it is vast. We want to be able to understand not just the microbe or the immunology, but use physical sciences, the life sciences, social sciences. MI4 in a way goes back to the roots, right? It goes back to science. And how can we understand biology? And how can we bring together what we split apart? In other words, all these different expertises to tackle questions and come up with answers that are real and that are achievable and that are outside of the box and that allow us to advance science in ways that we wouldn't have done before if we just remained in our silos.